Well, Eric, it's great to have you back on the show, of course, and A's Hall of Famer. That is always great to say. How does it feel when you get introduced, when you come back as an A's Hall of Famer?
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. Actually, this is the first time I've heard it said in a while. So, yeah, it's great honor. Obviously, the history with this organization, all the great people that are in the Hall of Fame, players and staff members. Definitely a big honor for me because I didn't make all-star teams or anything like that. So to kind of have that,
you won a few Gold Gloves. You're pretty
a couple awards, but yeah, it's I love this organization. Obviously, started my career here, drafted, and met a lot of good people along the way.
Yeah, when I think about, you grew up in San Diego, and then, of course, drafted by the Athletics. I know you're on the East Coast so much. When you come back to the West Coast and you see all the names like Reggie and Ricky and Eck, and you see the uniforms, what's that like coming back?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Ricky, that whole situation makes me completely sad. It's still, I was thinking about this the other day. It still doesn't. I can't even believe it's happened. But yeah, he's obviously one of the one of the personalities that's made a great impression on this game and this organization. But Ricky's definitely going to be missed. But yeah, West Coast is home to me. It's always been home to me. I do love working for the Mets. Last week we got some of the coldest weather I've ever participated in. So it's kind of nice to come out west and get some good weather.
Yeah, it's not like growing up in San Diego County like you did, right?
No, I was free. I was all bundled up during the game.
I think about, you played on so many good teams and you had so many good teammates with the A's and you guys had so much success. And the game was really changing from a data standpoint and of so much of what you guys use now, data-wise. So how much do you use from your A's days as a player that you still, whether it may be something with data or just something that you learned that you help with your young hitters now?
Yeah, super good question. I was actually just talking to a couple players. We were doing early batting practice and, I kind of felt we were doing analytics back then. It just wasn't written down. Pitchers knew what their best pitch was. Hitters knew what, the pitcher was trying to do with 2 strikes and get them out with. I feel like we were doing analytics back then. It just wasn't written down. But numbers are helpful. I was talking to Katse earlier too. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Right. It's you're still dealing with human beings. It's still the same game. We may call it different things. It may sound a lot smarter, but at the end of the day, it's still the same baseball game. And, the numbers are part of it now, and you got to just learn balance with it.
We talk so much about the data, but when you are a hitting coach or you're a pitching coach, you really got to be helping the guys mentally. Like, how much is it more about every single day? You got to keep them prepared. You got to keep them upbeat because you remember what that was like as a hitter. This is a game of failure. The guys are going to fail. Sure. You got to help them out sometimes more mentally than physically.
Yeah, 100%. I find myself to be more of a psychologist than a hitting coach. But honestly, that's why I love what I do. I feel like that's where I can make an impact. You're dealing with human beings. They got family members. They got stuff going on off the field. Baseball is extremely hard. Hitting is the hardest thing to do in sports. Even when you're good, you're still failing at a really high rate. And so that's how I kind of keep that perspective. I don't want to be one of those old heads where it's like, hey, when we played or make it sound like the game was easy, because it's not. It's not easy. Hitting's always been difficult, and it's gotten difficult over the last 10 to 15 years. But I always keep that perspective. And it's hard. I just try to impact the human. And when you can impact the human, you can impact the player. And that's kind of the philosophy that I have.
You think about winning with approach, and Juan Soto's approach has been so successful. You've had him now for a little bit. What's it like being his hitting coach? And talk about that approach. And he takes a lot of pitches. He knows his strike zone. It's pretty special.
Yeah, he's he just does it by example. I'm so, even for me, like, I've seen a lot of great players, and I marveled on him in spring training. I was just watching his, how his routine, and I'm just going, man. He creates a lot of backspin, and, there's a lot of hitting gurus and talk about a lot of stuff. And what Juan does is exactly what I feel and what I think, as everything in my bones about hitting is what Juan does. So he's going to influence a lot of our hitters just about the way he goes about his business. But he does everything you want him to do. He gets on base, swings at strikes, and he takes the balls, and he hits the ball extremely hard. But how he goes about it's a whole different manner. And, it's been a pleasure. He made me a good hitting coach overnight without doing anything. So, no, it's going to be a fun year with him. And, obviously 15 years, that's a really long time. And
Yeah.
I think with that approach, it'll help him last a little bit longer into his career.
When I think about Lindor, I mean, someone like yourself who played on the left side of the diamond, to play on that side, you've got to be fantastic defensively and to also do it offensively.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do.
No, it's not easy to do. And Lindor post, man, he's, speaking of last week, I mean, they said it was 30, but it felt like 22. And our players didn't complain at all. And Lindor goes out there every single day. He plays hurt. You got to yank him out of the lineup. I think he's only missed a few games over the last couple of years since I've been here. But you want to talk about a complete impact player, steals bases, team leader, hits for average, hits for power, plays, Gold Glove defense. We got a lot of good players on our team.
Yeah.
And you can have the Moneyball philosophy and whatever your philosophies are, they go really well with really good players. And we've got an owner who wants to win extremely bad, and he's opened up his checkbook and he wants to really go for it. But not only that, we have a lot of good people on our team, and it's a good recipe.
Now, I think, let's end on this. As a hitting coach, obviously that's one thing, but you're one of the premier defensive players of your time. Do you ever help out with the team defensively? I mean, no one's got more Gold Gloves than you around here.
Yeah, no, I meant the hitting coach. I mean, any hitting coach will tell you it's a full-time job, emotionally and physically. But we've got a really good infield coach, Mark Sauerball, and he's done wonderful things with our young guys. And, Mark Vientos had a great defensive year last year where that was supposed to be a huge hurdle, and he's really good at his job. I'm there. I talk to guys, during the game about maybe positioning or, if they ask me a question, of course I'm going to answer it. But hitting coach is a full-time job, and Mike's extremely good at his job. And, I just watch him do his work.
Well, I know we're only going to get you so many times a year. It's great to have you back because you mean a lot to this fan base. Yeah. With our franchise, you're one of our all-time greats.
I appreciate it.
Good luck with everything with
Thank
you guys in the Mets, and hopefully we'll check in with you later on this year.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.